Well, there's a reason they popped that one, and we fixed it. You know, we had a misalignment. And if that doesn't happen, they don't score that touchdown. So if you panic, you create more damage. That's been the difference with these guys. They don't make the same mistake twice.
And how much, as the game went on, did you start really having confidence in the entire offense? Because it looked like you got in a real good flow.
We kept finding that if we did different things with our 4-man receiver set, our 5-receiver set, the spread. If Kyle had enough time, we could get some guys open, especially after the initial route run. Because after the initial route run, they were dropping a little bit of coverage, and that's when our guys made a lot of those improvised routes.
How much of that's on Kyle too, just to create, make plays, and buy time?
It starts with offensive line giving those guys 3 or 4 seconds to get across the field and getting those holes, and then it gives our receivers when they start making adjustments to the route to not get covered, to get open, those get open routes, and then Kyle to find them. He's buying. Linemen are giving him 4 to 5 seconds. He's buying 2, 3 more seconds and get him off.
Bruce, obviously Kyle takes some chances, and he threw that one up to Eric. I mean, when he threw it and you're standing on the sidelines, were you hoping Eric would knock it down, or did you actually think he could make a play on that ball?
The one in the first half, Eric will tell you, he probably should have had that for a touchdown. He tipped it up, and that kid made a nice catch on it. But if you don't take chances in championship games, you don't make great plays. Great players make great plays only because they try them. You know, if you're afraid to try them, you're not going to make it.
We talked after that Beachwood game, and you talked about going back to the film and kind of regrouping in that. But I mean, honestly, from there to now, I mean, what changed, if at all? Or did you just go right back to work and put that behind you?
I think this group of coaches never doubted for a minute that we could play like that. I think the players in the second half of the Beachwood game doubted themselves. And when we showed them what they were doing wrong, it was alignments and assignments. It wasn't their effort. I preached from that point on. I said, you guys, you don't have to play harder. You got to play smarter. You got to be where you're supposed to be. And like I said, from that point, we practiced on making ourselves better. Not practicing so much what our opponents did, but how do we make ourselves better at what the coaches are asking you to do? And as you can see, it came a long way.
Bruce, when you got into this in '98 with this program, was it a whim? What was your initial goal when you got into coaching with this? And I mean, has this exceeded it?
I'd say the dream of the program was to give kids in Latonia and Covington an opportunity to play football, keep them involved, and give Holy Cross an opportunity to retain kids that they could never keep before. You know, you can see, if you go back in our history for a long time, there's guys that would have been terrific football players, but they wouldn't come to Holy Cross because they were football players. You know, those that were basketball players and soccer players, they kept coming to Holy Cross, but there's a lot of guys that chose to go to other schools, and I think when the dream that Mr. Galler, Mr. Erlinghaus, and Mr. Eifert, I think the dream they had was to give those kids an option, you know, and you know, quite honestly, early days we had a lot of guys that said, hey, if I want to play football, get my head beaten, I'll go someplace where I can win a ring. And my comment to them was, well, why wouldn't you want to be part of something that has earned it, you know? And I give my kids all the credit in the world. They certainly, if you look at where they've come from in 4 years, it's night and day.
You said the other night that John believed that this was going to happen. Did you believe this could happen?
Absolutely. Once we got over the hump and beat a very, very difficult Newport Central Catholic team, and that's always been our bugaboo, is not only the physicality of that team, but also the aura. And these guys believe from the time they lost the first game to the time we played the second time that we had a real chance if we just worked hard. And you know, the lesson for everybody is if you work hard and learn from your mistakes, you can get better and, you know, achieve monumental tasks.
Well, I'm talking even about going back to '98 when you said John believed this. How much did you go, yeah, right?
John believed everything. I remember sitting in my classroom one day. John and I had the same fourth period free, and we couldn't find our 10th game, and he kept searching the internet, and he said, "Kaz, Elder's over." That was my reaction. I said, "Heck no." He said, "Why? I'm not afraid of them." I said, "No, but you don't have to put a helmet on." I said, "We got to play the next game," and he understood. But he, like I said, he saw a kid hoping everybody. You know, he wanted to give everybody an opportunity. And if you ask anybody that ever played for him, they never quit on him for that reason.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just talk about Kyle Fuller tonight. Great boys back there tonight.
I'm not surprised one bit. I mean, like I was saying earlier, Kyle Fuller has done that for us all year long.
Yeah.
And the difference is that people are now seeing it because the stage is bigger.
Yeah.
You know, if you continue to look at Holy Cross as Holy Cross from the past, you're only going to see Kyle Fuller stats and say, well, they're not playing anybody. But if you look at the Holy Cross of today, celebrating a state championship, you realize just how far Holy Cross football has come. He's a terrific football player, and he'll never get enough credit for what he did here at Holy Cross. A lot of these guys won't. Paul Lampone, there's nothing you can say that would convince me that Paul Lampone is not one of the top 2 or 3 linebackers in the entire Northern Kentucky, maybe second, maybe at this half of the state. And he'll never get credit for how good a player he is.
Coach, you guys had 3 straight defensive shutouts, back, 2 weeks back, leading up to this. I mean, that defensive unit, I mean, at what point of the season did they really just start taking it to a different level?
When me as a coach, decided to let my coaching staff do what they wanted to do all year. I had reservations about taking the safety out of the middle of the field. I had reservations about sending linebackers on every play. And when I got over that hurdle and decided to let them play with their hair on fire, they did.
They certainly
and
did.
there's not a quarterback that we've played since that point that hasn't felt the wrath. Or running back for that matter.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Congratulations.